Hello, dear sinceres. Happy new 2023. I hope you've had a nice time celebrating with your family and celebrating the upcoming new year. And I wish that you have a really wonderful year full with blessings and new amazing things coming with lots of success, happiness, and blessings. Thank you so much for those of you who've stayed around and waited um, this time until I came back. I certainly not ready to come back, but I guess that sometimes you're not ready and you still need to do what you need to do. And so I will resume videos and I will try to make new videos for you more regularly from now on and talk about astrology and maybe bring on some new ideas of things that I have had past few months, at least experiment with a few things. So this video today is about the full moon in Cancer that will be taking place in the UK on the 6th of January, so in about 2 days time. And it's a very happy full moon actually, because there's not really that much antagonism going on at the moment of this full moon in the sky. In fact, we have a sky full of trines, and so it looks like Neptune, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, they kind of all still in celebration mode. And if I like to think of the planets as if they were gods in the Olympus, I certainly believe I've had past lives in Greece and in these kind of places, and I just love to relate to the planets in this way. And yeah, it looks like they are still celebrating the new year, and the gods decided to grant humanity with blessings for the start of the year because of these beautiful, magnificent trines that we are having in the sky during this full moon. Now, full moon is not necessarily a period that things are easy, where things are smooth. It's a culmination of energies and everything gets intensified. If people are emotional and feeling a little bit on the negative side, that can be amplified. Our anger, everything can be amplified. So, emotions, intense emotions that maybe could be on a scale from 1 to 10 on a level of 7, 6, can be amplified up to 11, 10 on a full moon period. And this is why also we hear about the this is why we also hear of the words lunatic, and in the past there used to be lots of associations with the moon. Now I'm recording this without my microphone, so you're gonna hear lots of background noises. If that's the case, I'm sorry. Continuing. So yeah, in the sky, in the heavens, we have lots of good things happening. Trine between Sun and Uranus, and a sextile of Uranus and Moon. We have a trine of Neptune and the Moon. We also have a trine of Mars and Venus. Mars will be coming out of retrograde very soon on the 12th of January. Thank God for that. I was severely badly affected by this Mars retrograde in Gemini, and I'm so happy it's going forward finally again. If those of you who've also been feeling the symptoms of this Mars retrograde, yeah, you can celebrate even more, because it's coming to its last gasps of retrogression and will be following on a steady path very shortly. And yeah, this full moon in Cancer, it talks about this kind of polarity between family and work. Funny enough, when I pulled the chart for UK at the moment of the full moon, the ascendant makes the chart have the Cancer full moon on the 10th house, which is a Capricornian house, and the Capricornian house on the 4th house, which is quite interesting. But this polarity of the Cancer full moon and the sun in Capricorn, it tells us about the career versus family, of home versus taking a center stage of a very high stage status in society. It talks about being nurturing and having this more empathetic emotional nature, and one that is more cold, ambitious, calculated, results orientated kind of mindset. And so we have this game between what is it that now we're living in the Capricorn season still, how we deal with our career, our ambitions, our goals, our projects, our hard work. Because it's not, I'm not talking about Capricorn in a negative way, rather, we all need all the signs, they all have something to give. And Capricorn is somewhat representative of a father energy. In personal view, actually, a more grandfather energy because the Saturn rulership. Um, but is very representative of this kind of, when we look at the 10th house and the 4th house, we are looking at the mother and we are looking at the father energies. So here is very much this authority, this patriarch of the family who is an authority and is leading, whether the family is small or is a big clan, is this kind of figurehead that gives direction and gives orientation. But that also implies, it looks almost like I'm talking about Leo the king, right? That also implies that to be an authority and a figurehead, there's a lot of responsibility. These are the ones who feel the weight of carrying things forward. Saturn, who rules Capricorn, is all about that. It's all about bringing society, bringing the clan, bringing the group, because it also rules Aquarius, into this state of well-being and being taken care of and having all the needs met. It's not about spoiling, but it's making sure survival can occur in this kind of winter season where there's very little crops growing, as nothing really growing, everything is hibernating, and you're supposed to have all your reserves have done since Virgo season, done to survive this kind of more severe cold winter times. So this is kind of the energies of Capricorn, is very much focused and calculated, with a cold head, which sometimes can almost come across as a cold heart, but it's because there is a weight of responsibility in this Capricorn character archetype. Is in the traditional father figure, they didn't used to be the nurturing, loving archetype. That was more given to the role of the mother, the nurturer, the one that you go and run to when daddy makes some kind of telling you off. When the father tells you off, or punishes you for something, or limits puts limits on your freedom, or doesn't allow you to do this or to do that. Whereas the moon is nurturing, is loving, is caring, is the one that empathizes, that wants to give love and wants to make another feel emotionally well and emotionally happy. emotionally taken care of, not just emotionally, but also on the level of enough food, on the level of being clothed and having that kind of more cozy caretaking of a home, which was attributed more to the role of the mother, speaking in very, very traditional terms. As nowadays things have changed and shifted quite a lot, and those roles don't apply so much into our society. But from an astrologically point of view, this is how you can look at this moon in Cancer. Full moon in Cancer is that, so the moon is actually in rulership in the sign of Cancer. So the moon is quite happy at home, doing what she loves, what she likes, and being herself, being this nurturing, loving. Now, having a full moon there, that can make our maternal instincts, maybe overprotective instincts, a little bit more exaggerated. We can feel more emotional, be crying over movies that we watch. We might feel that things affects us in much more deeper than usual because we might be feeling more emotional. But as I said, this full moon in the sky is actually accompanied by many trines. The only kind of notable, I mean, I don't go through all of the asteroids. I do like to mention a few here and there. I don't go through all of the transplutonian objects that go in the sky because there's a lot. I mean, if I were to speak about all of these aspects and things going on, I would be doing a full 1 hour, 2 hour video. I will speak mainly about those that I find relevant. In this case, we have a square to Chiron of both the sun and the moon. That would be kind of the only thing that I'd say is a little bit more kind of not so great. Why? Because, well, moon is emotions, and Chiron is the wounds that we carry inside of us. And from an explanation, I like to base my understanding of Chiron in what I've learned from a teacher that said Chiron actually talks about the collective wounding of society, talks about the wounds of the collective unconsciousness that we carry inside of us. It is as if we had these streamlines that one of them is aligned with our divine consciousness, what we are moving towards, and the other is out of alignment, which is what we carry from years and millennia of pain and ancestral karma, ancestral suffering, and this becomes the collective unconsciousness of our society, the things that we suffer through. And so many of these things are not necessarily just on a social basis, it can be also on an internal basis. But Karen speaks about a pain, a wounding that exists there, and we have no idea why we have that pain there. So you might want to check that, Karen. I hope one day I'll be making a video about Karen in all the signs so you can check yours and understand a little bit more of how Chiron in your chart affects you. So make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss it out. But yes, Chiron being squaring this full moon, it could mean that some of your wounds, whether it's from your own wounds that have not been healed, whether it is the wounds that you carry from your family, from your ancestry, or from your culture that you have internally, these can actually be amplified with a full moon. However, we have a beautiful trine of Venus and Mars, which can indicate that, These two are talking about make peace and love, not war. We have a beautiful trine of Neptune with the moon, which is great for your dreams, aspirations. What is it that you're dreaming of starting and accomplishing in this wonderful year of 2023? So, this is great for manifesting, even though I do not recommend you make any rituals during the full moon, because this is a period where the astral world is open to all types of influences, and your rituals can go a little bit out of hand. So make it maybe today, or make it 1 or 2 days after the full moon if you want, to take advantage of this Neptune trining the moon. Also, even though if the moon will be in a different position. Also, we have a sextile of Uranus to the moon, which is also kind of inspiring feelings of freedom and expectations, positive expectations for the future. Because Uranus is also trining the sun. It is still conjuncting the North Node, which is the direction that humanity is taking. But good news, the amazing news I have for you people is that we are saying bye bye for good to this bloody square of Uranus and Saturn. It's about time, because this Uranus and Saturn have been causing lots of issues, in our finances, in our earth issues, environment, lots of things that we've been suffering through the last 2 years with the Saturn square Uranus. And in this year of 2023, we're going to see Saturn moving to Pisces. We're going to see Pluto moving to Aquarius, which is not a great a great news, but it has to move there. Um, and what Pluto can bring to Aquarius is that we are going to go through a huge transformation in our society, in our communities, in our friendships, in our groups, in our mentality, in our communities. This is going to be a huge shift that is going to happen. A lot of it's going to get destroyed, a lot of it's going to suffer a lot of crumbling. So we're going to have the next few years coming of Pluto in Aquarius. It will still go back to Capricorn for a short period, um, and then go back in 2024 again to Aquarius. However, is going to start going into Aquarius in 2023, and is going to be a huge shift in terms of, a lot of our consciousness, in terms of how we deal with humanity, community, because Aquarius is the sign of humanity, of being humanitarian, of thinking about humanity as a fraternal community of sisters and brothers. So this can come, but Pluto never does anything softly. It goes up, it goes into things with a bang. So expect a lot of destruction in between, a lot of tears as well. Not to put you down, but to actually just forewarn you that is not going to be all cotton and sweet. However, it's a good thing. It's more for us to actually be optimistic, because we are in a period of transition, a lot of changes on Earth, on our planet, on our world, on our society. We can also expect a lot of technology coming. This is going to be the age of actual technology that we're going to see happening with this Pluto here in Aquarius. Is going to be very much, air based humanity. we see the internet moves in the air. We see the communications move in the air. We're talking about electric, this electric, that. Well, electricity is a very Aquarian thing. Is ruled by Uranus, which also rules, is a modern rule of Aquarius. So we're gonna see a lot of invisible energy happening. Invisible, and when I say invisible energy, is about invisible movement, invisible things happening that our great great grandparents would think is sorcery, it's magic. Um, while we are so used still to use the more earth-based things, while I will not be surprised that the flying cars will come with this Pluto in Aquarius era that we're going to see the next few years coming. So this is just a snippet of what you can expect from Pluto in Aquarius. This is not the video about it. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Actually, I want to make lots of videos. The problem is they're going to be more in this format where you're not going to see my face. My life is in a very big chaos right now. And yeah, so I just think astrology is kind of my refuge right now. And yeah, you're not going to be able to see my face because I don't have conditions to show it to you right now. But hopefully this will all improve this year. Wish me well. I take all the blessings you can give, and I'll send you blessings as well for a beautiful new full moon. Did you hear what I say? New full moon, so weird. But it's new full moon because it's new the new full moon of 2023. And happy new 2023 with lots of beautiful things happening in your life. Um, yeah, and by the way, it's just so you know, the chaos, I blame it on all these eclipses and this bloody Mars retrograde thing. Is not all bad. There's amazing things, and there's really bad things at the same time. So I don't know which part of the pendulum to kind of focus in terms of what determines my situation. And I decided to actually remain on the positive end of it. Anyway, enough about me. I wish you pleasant 2023, dear sinceres. And if you want to check me out on my website at cinthisincere.com, I'll see you next time. May the cosmos and the stars be with you.